Take a piece of wire, bend a paperclip, plug in a headphone, and you're holding a radio that pulls stations out of thin air with zero batteries, zero power, and zero internet. That's not a magic trick. That's 100-year-old physics that still works perfectly today. Here's what we're doing in this video. We're going to build a working radio from scratch. Wire, a cardboard tube, a tiny diode, and a headphone. And then we're going to tune into a real station with it. No power source, no amplifier, just the radio waves already moving through the air around you right now. And I'll tell you up front, there's one part of this build that almost everyone gets wrong. And it's the part that determines whether you hear anything at all. I'll get to that, but first, let me give you a little context, because this thing has a wild history. In the 1920s, crystal radio sets formed the main technology for the reception of broadcast radio, laying the popularity of radio for many years to come.
Think about what that means.
Before television, before the internet, before any of it, countless children and hobbyists learned radio fundamentals by building their own sets. And for many families, a crystal radio was their first experience of voices and music traveling invisibly through the air. These weren't engineers, these were regular people winding wire around cardboard tubes in their kitchens. Like game consoles and smartphones today, radios in the 1920s were expensive. But fortunately for teens back then, they could build radio receivers using cheap parts found at home and hardware stores. And here's the thing that makes this whole build so fascinating. A crystal radio receiver is a simple radio receiver that uses only the power of the received radio wave to produce sound, needing no external power supply. The energy that drives your headphone comes entirely from the broadcast tower miles away. The radio wave itself is your battery.
That concept is wild when you sit with it for a second.
You've got a supercomputer in your pocket right now, and this thing made from wire and a cardboard tube doesn't need any of it. So let's build it. 4 steps, and I'll walk you through exactly what each piece does and why it matters. Step 1. The coil. This is the heart of the whole radio, and getting it right is what separates a working set from a dead one. For making the coil, use a toilet roll or PVC pipe and wind 80 turns of enameled copper wire around that roll. Wind it tight and keep the turns close together. You'll want to use 28 to 30 gauge wire. That's the thin, shiny stuff. It looks almost like thread. Now here's the part most people skip. Remember to scratch the wire enamel from the 2 ends of the enameled wire with a blade, because all enameled wires are covered with enamel material, and you need to remove that material to make the connection.
If you don't do that,
you'll get nothing. The enamel is an insulator. Your coil will be electrically invisible. Scrape both ends clean, and now you've got something that can actually talk to a radio wave. What this coil is doing physically is acting as an inductor. It creates a magnetic field when current flows through it, and that magnetic field is what allows the circuit to resonate at a specific radio frequency. Think of it like tuning a guitar string. The coil is the string. The length and number of turns determines which frequency it wants to vibrate at. That's how you lock onto one station instead of hearing a jumbled mess of all of them. Step 2. The capacitor and antenna. This is where you give the radio something to listen to and something to tune with. For the antenna, use a 15-foot wire laid out on the floor, or better yet, run it out a window. The longer the antenna, the stronger the signal you'll pull in.
this is your reach into the air.
Every radio station in your area is pushing waves through that wire right now, and the antenna's job is to catch them. The antenna is an essential element in how the crystal radio works. It picks up the signal, which is used as the input to the radio. For the capacitor, you can make one from aluminium foil and a paper towel roll. The capacitor works with the coil to create what's called a tuned circuit. Together, they form a resonant pair that selects one specific frequency and rejects everything else. Tuning is a key element. It provides the selectivity, meaning the ability to allow stations on the required frequency and reject others that are on different frequencies. Slide your contact point along the coil to tune. By making this hookup touch different places along the coil, you tune your crystal radio. That sliding contact is your tuning dial. Simple as that. Step 3. The detector.
And this is where most people get it wrong.
Not because it's complicated, but because they grab the wrong component off the shelf. The crystal radio gets its name from the galena crystal, lead sulfide, originally used to rectify the signals, with a cat's whisker wire contact moved about the surface of the crystal until a diode junction was formed. That little wire, touching a raw mineral, was literally the original detector. 100 years ago, people would poke around the surface of a chunk of galena with a fine wire until they found the sweet spot, the spot where the crystal would only let electricity flow in one direction. That fine metal wire was known as a cat's whisker, and it effectively chopped half of the AC signal, turning it into electrical pulses heard as sound in a headphone. Today, you don't need galena.
No batteries.
No Wi-Fi, no power cord. Just a radio wave that left a broadcast tower miles away, traveled through the air, hit your antenna wire, resonated through your coil, got detected by a tiny germanium diode, and turned into sound in your ear. That's it. That's the whole chain. And it's been working exactly like that for 100 years. This is the moment I want you to sit with for a second because it's genuinely remarkable. You didn't plug anything in. You didn't charge anything. The energy powering your headphone right now was harvested directly from a radio wave. The broadcast tower is your power source, and it's miles away. Before you move on, if this is the kind of thing that gets your brain going, hit subscribe. We go deep on vintage technology, DIY builds, and the kind of science that actually makes sense when you see it with your hands. And drop a comment right now. Had you ever heard of a crystal radio before this video?
I'm genuinely curious.
Because I've shown this to people who've been in electronics for decades, and they had no idea it still worked. Now here's where this goes from a cool weekend project to something that actually matters. Think about the world for a second. Power grid goes down, internet's out, cell towers are offline. What do you do for information? Your phone is a brick, your smart speaker is dead, your TV is a black rectangle. But this wire coil on a cardboard tube still works. It uses only the power of the received radio wave to produce sound, needing no external power supply. As long as there's a broadcast tower transmitting somewhere within range, this radio receives. Storms, blackouts, infrastructure failures, none of that touches it. It remained in use until World War II and remains a common educational project today thanks to its simple design. There's a reason survivalists and preppers have been quietly rediscovering this technology. It's not nostalgia,
It's resilience.
the materials cost almost nothing, the build takes an afternoon, and what you end up with is a piece of emergency communication equipment that has no failure mode tied to the power grid. That's not a small thing. So here's where we land. You started this video thinking a radio needed batteries, circuits, chips, some layer of modern complexity to make it work. And what you actually found is that a coil of wire, a $1 diode, a long antenna, a ground connection, and a headphone are all it takes to pull a signal out of the air. The crystal radio is a simple form of radio using just a few components, and its operation provides an excellent basis for understanding how more complicated forms of radio work. Every radio you've ever used, AM, FM, digital, satellite, is built on this same fundamental idea: resonance, detection, conversion. The rest is just refinement. Technology from a century ago. One wire, one cardboard tube, one paperclip-sized diode. And you'll never look at electronics the same way again. If this video surprised you, subscribe to the channel, share it with someone who would never believe this actually works, and let me know in the comments. Had you ever heard of a crystal radio before today? And if you're fascinated by forgotten technologies, remarkable inventions, and the stories behind them, be sure to check out the other videos on the channel. You'll discover even more innovations that once changed the world, but have since been almost completely forgotten. See you in the next video.